Hi guys, it's Blackie. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna be a little bit subdued. I've got a cold. I'm not gonna say it's the flu, but it's got down in my chest, and so I'm a little bit raspy. So just hang with us. Good evening to Newfoundland, Canada, and hello Jeff, hello James. 26 degrees here right now, and no wind. A rarity for that locale. Cool. 35 in Columbia. It's 40 here in Lower Alabama. Temperature's dropping pretty quick though. Craig, hello there. Gray Wolf, hello there. Joshua, hello there. William, good evening. Andy Knight, hello to South Georgia. Choir boys, good evening, brother. Oh, woo! You ever cough so much you hurt your ribs and all? Woo! Stars will quit in a second. Just hang on. Patriot Preacher, hello there. 16 in New York. Hello to Simcoe, Ontario. Awesome. And to Raska, Georgia. Hello there. Hit 50 in Missouri. Hello to Dallas, Texas. Hello to Kansas. BK, good evening. Christopher, hello there. Whew. Oh, you got 11 days of snow and ice up there. Got you. Mississippi Delta. Yeah, I bet it was fun over there. We got what we got was back at the first of the month, we got about an inch or so, and that actually lasted about 6 hours. And then all we got after that was just a little dusting. When that front went over, it was more rain than anything. So we didn't get anything accumulated out of it. Got some Canadians working, eh? Yeah. Okay. Well, Kent, be safe out there, brother. We're driving the truck. It is. The cough is. This left lung is severely scarred up. They wanted to take it out or half of it out 20 years ago, and I said no. So I get anything down in the chest, I'm gonna get pneumonia. Just bet on it. And the wife came down with a high fever and a lot of sinus drainage on Sunday, and so I was taking care of her. And then Tuesday night is whenever I finally went running a low fever, and I've got the fever under control now, and I've got most of the sinus stuff is dried up, but it's just what in my lung. Just have to take it easy. Oh, we're gonna do some ice fishing. That's nice. Hello to Chris and Bob in Southwest Ohio. Hooks, hello there. Hooks Outdoors in the house. Good evening. Justin, I hear you. We're all groggy right now. Hang in there, brother. I had planned to go to the woods and camp out this weekend, and then this hit. And it's going to be down in the 30s on the night. So it ain't a good idea for me to be out there in that kind of cold wind. Even though I could take it, I don't think it'd be a smart idea for my lung with this stuff already in my chest and be breathing nice cold air. So it's going to warm up. We're going to get back to camping. I'm going stark raving loony sitting in the house. You know what I mean? Number one, Big Bear. Hello there. Mullein leaf for the lungs. I have used that before. It does help. Usually with mine, it's just I'll start wheezing and I'll lay down to go to sleep, and it sounds like a cat mewing me. It's my lung. And but I'm sitting up and I'm breathing deep, and so that keeps everything opened up. When I stop, I breathe less, it closes up, and it'll start it sounds like a cat mewing. Miss Pam, good evening. Common Sense Karen, hello there. Well, giving y'all an update. The 1st of May, the Mountain Readiness event, I don't know if it's expo or whatever, I'll be teaching at that. I talked to people putting it on, and I'm going to be up there teaching at that one. So Mountain Readiness up in North Carolina, I'll be teaching in 1st of May. Everything goes good. That is, I'll be up there. Okay, some of you Southern folk, school me up. What's the difference between grits, cornmeal, and corn flour? What? Just grind. Yes, basically. Grits is the very hard tip that comes off of it. And then cornmeal and corn flour is a grape. Cornmeal is coarser than corn flour. And usually corn flour is mixed in with wheat flour to make a combination of things. Whereas cornmeal is usually used by itself to make like hush puppies, hoe cake, fried cornmeal, things like that. So the flour is a mixer, the meal is a primary, and grits is a piece that knocks off the top and they keep it. It's a hard core, so to speak, that they turn and make into grits. Charles, good evening. Oh yeah, Indy night, yeah. Respiratory flu. I'm thinking it's just plain flu. It isn't COVID because, COVID, I would feel a whole lot worse. I'm not. And it's just, it started in the sinuses. And my wife ran a fever for a day. I ran a fever for about 18 hours and then it was over. I feel like I'm on the mend. It's just a lung. And I've coughed so much, I'm just sore. I don't want to cough no more. Todd Gibson, good evening, brother. John, I'm glad you've enjoyed the videos and I hope it's helped. Yep, grits over 2 runny eggs with plenty of black pepper and 2 big old things of sausage beside of it. Oh, yeah. Thinking that cornmeal is it is a little bit to make too coarse to make tortillas. Corn flour would make tortillas. So Steve Kingsbury, good evening, brother. They talking about this cold. They recorded 32 degrees in Cuba. First time in recorded history Cuba has ever recorded anything close to the freezing point. So this cold Arctic blast that came in made it all the way to Cuba. Using ginger and lemon juice to help. That'd be a good way to do it. Yeah, I've heard about dry oregano, but I haven't used it. Yeah, Bucky is pointing out corn masa is what you make tortillas out of. It's a slightly different grind. Okay, topic for discussion. What size litter-wise is appropriate for cold weather, region-wise, of course, hiking, camping? What size litter? Am I not reading that right? It looks like litter. Jimmy Dunlap. What are you talking about? If you're talking about making your own potty, use standard cat litter, clumping cat litter. Leader, got it, as in backpack. Oh, if the weather is not going to be where you have to have cold and bulky stuff, I've got easily done it with like a 30 liter or less for a 3 day camp. Because I'm going to be wearing the bulk of my clothes. There's only going to be a few extra pieces in there beyond my basic camp and then my haversack equivalent. And so about a 30 liter is what I would do. Oh yeah, you got any night. You got red horse suckers too. Cool. Volume in liters of pack size. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, for me it's 30 liter. But now, if I'm going to be in the dead of winter where I got to tote big, bulky things, I'll go all the way up to like a 50 or 60 liter. Then, because that big, fluffy sleeping bag, the big, long underwear, and stuff like that, my weight goes up actually very little, but it's the bulk of the stuff I got to wear because, like I spoke of, the temperature change. It could be 65 during the day and 20 tonight. So I've got to have the be able to function in the 20 and be able to peel it off for the 60 and have a place to carry it. No, actually, it's 40 degrees here. Mitchell, from San Diego, it's 40 here. And it'll probably be 32, 33 here pretty quick. And I'm sick. It's the reason I'm wearing extra layers. Yeah, Todd Gibson's right. If it's cold, you got to go with the bigger sizes. And if you're living in cold country up there, you're going to just need to start with like a 50 liter to have room to carry the big bulky clothing and all. Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah, I heard y'all got quite a bit of snow. But usually when we have such cold winter, we get to the end of February or early March. It's like you snap your finger and you turn it off, and that's it. It's 80 degrees down here, and there ain't another lick of cool air. It usually means we're going to have a hot summer. Cool. Okay. Albinum. Hello. uh, yeah, length of stay and how, distance and things like that. If you're doing long distance with little resupply, you got to carry your spares with you. If it's just food is your multiplier, expanding your pack out, your basic camp stays the same. It's how much water and how much food you got to do. And I have played with that many ways, and I found that often it was better to take pre-made up food like a can of chili, an actual metal can that I could just heat up and eat out of that can, rather than carrying the stove and all this water or water filtration stuff to do these super light, alert meals that required a lot of water to do. It was when I started adding in all that weight, just the can was less weight. And so I just carry the can. A lot of times in the summertime, I didn't want to eat hot food anyway because, you're already hot. So being able to just take a can and it be air temperature nearly 95 degrees, it would be easy to just sit it beside a fire and warm it up just a minute and just eat it right out of the can. But then I'm a cheap redneck too, so. uh. I've heard about them socks. I haven't got any. I had those camel socks. They worked really well. I wore them as a every day, and then I'd take them off at night, rinse them out in the sink, and then let them dry and put them back on the next day. Just see if I was camping on a hike. They worked that way, so I could take like two pair and be able to rotate them. And they never gave me any trouble. Yeah, Charles Martin, if you're in the desert, water is your big thing. You're going to have to carry a lot of it. That's the big thing. Choir boys, hello, brother. The choir boys, I'll come out and visit for a little bit. I won't be able to stay the night because I can't be in the cold temp, but I will come out and visit some. And Mike said he's bringing firewood, so y'all are going to be set, but I'll come out and visit some. Uh, oh, yeah, especially if you're in snow country, having a sled or something you can pile your gear on and just tow it behind you, whole lot better than toting it on your shoulders. I like eating pork and beans straight out of the can. What's your favorite brand of pork and beans? I'm not sure that exact name, but the Piggly Wiggly carries it, and it's kind of an off brand compared to Walmart or something. But Piggly Wiggly had a I liked it better than I did the ones that I got everywhere else, and I could eat them cold, you know, or warm depending on what environment I'm in. So, in fact, some things I actually like better unheated. Tomato soup, I actually like the taste of it right out of the can better than I do when you heat it up properly. Unless you're going to heat it up and put butter in it and everything else to really fancy it up, I just ride it straight out of the can. It's fine by me. Walter, I will cut this to 1 hour, but I'm going to stay up a little bit. I'm going to be hurting whether I'm laying there or not. So just hang on. I'm going to be okay. Ground fog, hello. Van Camps, that's good stuff. Oh, yeah. Portage, having those liner types, waterproof liners that go into socks. Back when I canoed a lot, I had a pair of those. Hey, Barbara Eden was pretty hot, dude. Barbara Eden, Raquel Welch kept a young man awake at night. I'll put it that way. Now, that's a good idea about vacuum sealing your emergency clothes and putting them into your vehicle or your pack for your bug out bag. That'll keep insects away from them, keep them dry, and keep them ready to go. So when you put them on, there's no problems. Yes, she is. Barbara Eden, 90. I dream of Jeannie. Excuse me. Adirondack, how you doing? When they first brought out those bags that you'd get and you take a vacuum cleaner and suck it down, I went camping with a guy and he had this small pack and he was just so tickled about it. Well, he had a big old down sleeping bag and he put it and he'd suck that sucker down to where it was, about an inch thick and about like that and slid it in there and had everything vacuum sealed. Well, the problem is when he opened it up to use it that night, he couldn't get it back into the bag and get all the air out of it, put it back in. So we went on this little hike and we set up. I mean, I thought it was great. And the next day I said, now what's your plan for getting air out of it and put it back in them bags? And you see the uh-oh moment. So we ended up walking out with him having that sleeping bag draped around his shoulders and carrying a bunch of stuff in his hands because he didn't have any way to suck it back down and put it into the bags. Yes, the oilcloth Nighthawks will be shipping this Friday. If you're getting just a haversack, it's on the way. It'll be on the way this Friday. Tomorrow, I've got them in the bags and everything. They're sitting in the truck right now, and they will be going to the post office tomorrow, so they'll be headed your way. Oh yeah, we do that too. We'd open up cans and use the lid to etc. We learned the trick about if you could get a can to stand up in something else. So we would take a pot, like the Boy Scout little bitty pot that comes in the Boy Scout mess kit, and we'd sit that in the fire with creek water in it, and then sit the open can in that, and that would immerse in heat, and it'd come up to a boil, and it would heat it up, and you'd stir it in the can a little bit, and you never overheated, and you didn't burn the food because it's in the water, and the maximum it can be is 212 degrees because of the steam coming off. And that little pot was really good for that. And so we would heat up a lot of canned foods that way with just a Boy Scout mess kit pot and carry canned foods. Oh, cool. I didn't know y'all had them that far north, the sucker fish. Blackie, what's your opinion on fire pistons? I have almost every other fire starter. My favorite is the Exotac lighter you featured on your channel. I have used someone else's fire piston a couple of times, and as long as you have good dry tinder that you can hit and then take that ember and put into it, it works fine. But you got to have that dry tinder. That's the other piece of it. It's a great ignition source, but you got to have a really good dry tinder because usually you got such a small coal, and you've only got a few seconds with that coal before it consumes itself or goes out. So, but my friend really liked his, and he would have a bird's nest ready to go, and he'd put the piston up under his arm. He was pretty strong, and he'd take it and he'd slam it and immediately stick it up and put the end into the thing, go to blowing, and make it ignite. So there's a little bit of a technique in it. Oh. Fillet them and soak them in milk overnight. I've never tried doing that with suckers, soaking them in milk. I will get it out in a minute. How much does your wax canvas weigh empty? Are you talking about the Nighthawk or the haversack itself? Okay, Jim Pearson. The haversacks are going out tomorrow. There should be on the way tomorrow. Hello, Bear. Bear's in the house for a second. Y'all throw your questions at Bear because he's in a hurry. That'll work fine for a tender carry. It's just anything you can seal up good and tight. It doesn't really matter. I have used, the tobacco tins that the guys get. It's got little pouches of snuff or whatever they put between their chicken gum. I had someone bring me a bunch of those, and that's really good for putting small batches of tinder in, squeezing it and take electrical tape and go around it, and then double back the tip so you got a quick pull on it, and that would be good and watertight even if it gets wet in your haversack, and you can pull it out and have a fluffy, pretty good size fist size worth of tinder ready to go. Great way to carry it. The haversack itself, hold on a second. The haversack itself is not even registering a pound. And that's the wax one. But you can see with the, make sure it ain't laying on nothing. But, I mean, it's barely even moving. I'd say it's definitely less than a pound by itself. Oh, yeah, I'll get back in it. Okay, where were we? Okay, Steve says, and Black, you love the cooking series. We got more of that coming. Any thoughts on the Ruger 9mm carbine for hunting utility? Yes, they work very, very well. But if you're somebody into reload and understand the Ruger was famous for launching them suckers out yonder. Now, they may have changed it, but my good friend had one at one point several years ago that was 9mm. And it was a great, accurate, handy, but you weren't getting that brass back. It'd throw that brass 50 yards out yonder. I mean, we thought we'd put up a piece of thick cardboard and catch it out at the range. It'd blow right through cardboard. So it is a powerful ejection. Don't be standing next to it. What kind of handguns does Sir Grouch use in the field? He was real partial to the 357 Magnum. And he also, of course, likes a 1911. He carried one of those in combat a long time. Okay. Yeah, I hear you, Justin. The Stray Outdoors. Is there a way to waterproof a M65 field jacket? Yes. All you got to do is go down. Walmart carries it, and there's these cans of spray silicone. It's for redoing tents or clothing or whatever, and do it in fine layers. You want to put the jacket out there and just do a light mist like you're putting hairspray on something. Let that dry for about 2 hours. And then come back and put another light coat. And just keep doing that until that can's completely gone. And then whenever it is, test it. See how it holds water. Usually one can's enough to make it shed water like a raincoat without completely sealing it up. You don't want to just souse it down because then it doesn't breathe. It'll be waterproof, but you won't breathe in it anymore. And it's like wearing a rubber rain jacket then. But if you just mist it like that, you'll normally do the job. You're dealing with the same crud. I hear you. I hear you. Oh yeah. Depending on where you're at, chicken soup. Thank you. There's someone that is in here quite often that we was trying to ship him a haversack, and they wanted $275 shipping to get it to him. So like, it's one of them things that's just it's stupid crazy right now. I'm gonna try to make an hour, and I will cut it short then, guys. I'm just tired of laying down too. You know what I mean? Hanging with the bullfrog. Good evening. Yes, they do. You can get this is a Marine Corps. You can get these. They only have extra large in this, but it's like $40, and it's great liner to put onto the with the M65 and all. It's great. But just tell them that it's the fuzzy green fleece coat, and I believe they also have it in coyote tan. I think. RNS Outdoors. Good evening. Yeah, it is. I caught the bug. Of course, it was the wife. sickness and in health. They didn't say your wife is always going to be the one to get you sick. They didn't say that. Doesn't mean I wouldn't have married, but for over 20 years, my wife worked in daycare. She worked with little 3-year-olds. She loved being with 3-year-olds. And if they come in, they're sick, they got to go curl up in Miss Hopi's lap, and she'd sit and rock them. So, of course, she picked up every sniffle, every bug, every whatever, and brought it home to me. I think I spent more time running back and forth to the doctor to get shots and stuff and antibiotics and stuff was because of her. Love her to death, but faith in His grace. I'm tired of being tired. I understand that. Hello, Louder Milk. Good evening, brother. Hello to snowy Pennsylvania. No, I did not take the vaccine. Oh, cool. Please do. Send me more tips for the Silver Wolves. Yes. Do I have a method for reloading a muzzle open shotgun? Glad you brought that up. An old elk skin bag I made up. Okay. That. What I did was I went down to the craft store and they've got these little screw top bottles. Okay. I just taped them together, put a little piece of cardboard between them. Otherwise the lids bind up. Okay. And so that is 2 3/4 gram and 1 ounce of shot pre-made up right there. That way, and I know which one is the powder. Unscrew and dump in the powder. Put my wads in, unscrew, and then dump in the shot and screw back in. So all I got to do is tote my wads, and I carry my wads. I haven't pulled them all out of here right now. Powder flask. But I carry my wads in this pouch right here. So I just reach in and pull them out. I use the same size wad. So it's 3 down on top of the powder and 1 down on top of the shot. And so that's how I carry a muzzle loading shotgun in the field. I know I did a video. It's probably in the percussion or somewhere in there playlist. But I know I did a thing on the percussion shotgun at some point. I need to do another one before it gets too hot. Jimmy Dunlap. I'll see if I can do that. Do a video of the two working together. Yes, yarrow root would really help. Walter Ross, you know what I'm talking about. If your wife's a teacher, she's in that all day, every day. Hey, anything that'll give you a little bit of relief. I mean, we did honey. We did peppermint and whiskey. We did a lot of stuff. Cool. Oh, I just wish my ribs weren't so sore. Whew. Oh boy, let's see. What size to get? Get an extra large, because remember, this is a jacket that's supposed to go over everything. So you're going to be wearing more layers in the winter. So you're going to have that long underwear and then some big fluffy sweatshirt or whatever, and then the jacket. So always go the next size up. I wear a large shirt, but I get an extra large jacket for that reason. So when I put it on and get it all together, there's loose. See, I can move, and it also traps warm air around the body. Whereas if it's tight, I don't get to do that. And so loose is what you want. So extra large. I hear you. Yeah, my husband is laughing because, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, love her to death, but every little kid came in with the sniffles or whatever, she'd just scoop them up and sit there and hold them all day, and she'd be sick. God. And of course, she'd come home to me. And guys, your wife sleeps facing away from you. You sleep facing away from her. That's where you normally prefer to lay on your side and sleep. But if she gets sick, does she flip over and run to your side of the bed and cough on you all night until you go, and then suddenly she's going to the far side of the bed? You know what I mean. Oh, yes, they are little petri dishes. Tracy, good evening. What's the material? That bag you just picked up, preloaded ammunition, black powder. What's the material made out of? Looks like old liner tubes. It's actually glass. You go into the craft store. They got them at a lot of times Dollar Trees and crafts and stuff like that. It's actually glass. See, because there's that's powder and that shot in it. And I leave it that way so I can look from the bottom and tell which is which, you know. But I always write on it what's load. Now, I'm going to change. So this is for squirrel hunting. This is my squirrel load right here to go into that Tule to Chase over there. Now, I'm not going to be using this with my 12 gauge. So I would reconstitute, but put my shot back down, whatever, and put me another lap of masking tape on here and change to, this is a 3 dram and a 1 1/4 load, and measure it out and put it into, and I'll carry like 10 or 12 of them with me, because if I've shot 10 or 12 times, I either got all I want to eat or I need to go home, because I didn't miss that much. Gordon and Cody Dixon. Well, hello there. You think you need a large shot of shine? Yep, it would probably help. Cloud of Silver can do amazing things. Just don't ever overuse it. No, I have not. I haven't got any experience with the M95 Ranger Puko. Oh, cool. Yes, they've got those at Hobby Lobby or any of those things. Just go look in the craft section. Tell them you're looking for little bitty jars or vials or whatever. I've even seen them at Walmart before in the craft section. And I experimented with all kinds of stuff. I had a shot snake. I carried. That was an awkward thing. And I tried all of the above. And over the years, you know, am I going for a reenactment? I'm trying to show off. I'd carry a powder horn and a powder horn a shot. And I would measure and do my things. But for just we're going squirrel hunting, that. I mean, I just grab that and pour, and I'm good to go. Elderberry would be really good for congestion. Whiskey and honey. Proven Time-tested remedy. Oh, the leather it's made out of, that's elk. That's one of my old rendezvous bags that I used to make. It's elk that I used to make a few shot bags and stuff like that. And this was a old shot bag from back in my rendezvous days that I used, and I just recycle them into hunting bags now. Uh, oh, Washburn Billy, sorry to hear that you were sick back in. No, I don't. Do you have any concern with static electricity storing powder charges in those crap piles? No. I don't believe it's going to build up to be any problem in there. You have a lot of that static electricity problem in really super dry climates. We don't have that problem in Alabama. We're super humid. Just like washing machines, when I growing up down here, were two-prong, 220 two-prong. Today, there's four-prong. Three-prong, I should say. And today they're four-prong because they've got a second grounding going to the outside metal case. Because in super dry climates, that dryer would be spinning and the outside of the thing would actually electrically charge up from static electricity. It's not the electricity flowing in from the wall that's doing it. It was static electricity. And so they'd ground it because people get the crud shocked out of them up in cold climates because it's cold and dry. But we don't have that kind of static electricity problem down here where I'm at because of it. So I don't worry about that. If I was in the deserts or someplace like that, yeah, I'd be concerned about it. I'd use brass for that. 105 on board. Wow. I've got a few pictures. I posted a few pictures over the time that people have took of me back. I had long hair back then. And I was teaching classes in Boy Scouts. I was putting on from 1990 to 2000. I was part of the Alabama Red Wolves, and we were putting on Southeasterns. Either we were actually putting the event on, or we were the dog soldiers working at the event. And it seemed like it was every year from 90 to 2000. And so there's a lot of pictures of Blackie floating around out there in the world. Fishing golf. Hello there. Yeah, having that in New Mexico, that might be a factor. But you could any kind of little plastic tube or something like that, something that's not going to generate a lot of a hold of charge, might be the way to go. I do not have one of the new Ruger Magpul 357 guns. I do have a 357 rifle though. Really like mine. Mine's a Rossi. Yeah, you have to run a humidifier in the winter. Well, it's because our heaters will dry out the air. We're used to swimming, and whenever it dries it out to only merely 50% moisture, our sinuses dry out. No, Washburn Billy, I have played with a thermoscope, but I've never owned one. But my good friend Dan Lutz had a thermoscope, and one of his occupations was nuisance trapper, and a local airport would hire him to come out and get rid of the deer herd on the airport. They get in the trees in the airport, so he'd go out there. He had a silenced, fully automatic 300 blackout with a thermoscope, and yes, he could have all of that because nuisance trappers were allowed to have things that the average population didn't have to have as long as you were a licensed nuisance trapper. and he'd use them to go take deer at night out there on the airport. He'd just ride around there and shine it around. Yeah, it had night vision, and you turn the thing, and it was thermo, whichever one you wanted. And he liked it. He really liked it. Oh, cool. The Dollar Tree water painting kit's coming out. That's a good idea. Do ex-wives count? You enjoy the Black Powder series the most. Thank you. You know, that is the number one um, playlist I have is actually my Black Powder stuff. You think with the vast of my stuff being for bushcraft, witchcraft, but it's actually every month. My number one playlist is my Black Powder playlist. That's the reason I've kept at it and kept adding to it. And I've got another one talking about the 44 caliber conical bullets that Aragon makes. That's supposed to come out this Saturday, and then next Saturday we're tearing into that CVA to do a complete breakdown and get rid of the burrs and all and get her up to speed so that we can go shoot it and make any physical changes we're going to make the gun before we do the finishing on it, because we don't want to finish it and then go shoot it and find out we got to make some big change and you got to scratch it up, you know. So, but that's coming. Oh, cool. Yeah. Hey, RS Outdoors, anybody that passes along my information is always a help. It really is. We see the rise and fall of revenue, and it's sort of a seasonal thing. Um, January is normally one of the least ones we get because their financial year begins like ours does. And so February is the first of the year. So that's when they get their new ad revenue money. And then probably March, your revenue starts going up. And then that cycles around. And December is a big month that you're going to get a lot of revenue. Normally one of the best paychecks you're going to get because it's the end of the year and they're burning their left money, you know, trying to get their message or whatever. That's the advertisers. And apparently Chevrolet and Ford like my channel because they do a lot of videos, a lot of commercials on there. And then, like I said, January, like, because they ain't got no money because they're going from February to end of January. So, but any support y'all give, I greatly appreciate it. Believe me, I really, really do. How's your health, Blackie? It's been amazingly well till I got this. This will pass as long as it doesn't go bad in my lung. And but other than that, it's just a cold. You know, it's just I got a badly scarred up lung, and I just have to be really sensitive to not let it turn into pneumonia. That's the big challenge. But I'm pretty confident that I'm gonna be okay. It's just I need to be cautious until probably like Monday or Tuesday, and then by then I'll know whether this is if it goes this way and I start seeing color when I cough, like yellow or green or whatever, then I'm going straight to the doctor, and they know me when I come in. They'll know what to give me because we've had to fight it several times in the last 10 years. And other than that, I'll be all right. Adirondack. I for that I'll be using a 10-inch Dutch oven. Yeah, I'll be for doing peach cobbler. I'll be using a 10-inch Dutch oven. Oh, you got your inflatable camper shell. Awesome. You and Monica gonna do that. That's cool. Thank you very much, Tristan Smith. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Uh, Thank you very much, Adirondack and Grey Wolf. Yeah. Oh, you made some fried army biscuits. Cool. Yeah, in a skillet on top of a heat source. Yeah, good old army biscuits. Mm-hmm. Washburn Billy, thank you. Love you guys too. Trying to take a deep breath, get my lungs inflated. That's whenever you want to pick up the phone and goes, hello, this is Alice. How can I help you? Woo. Uh, but it's 38 here now. Cool. It's dropping on down. But I got a video be coming out Sunday. Cold weather camping in a hammock. This is a one wind. What it is, they call it their hammock zippered windsock. But what it is, it's a cover you put in cold temperatures, and there's a zipper right there that goes right through the middle of it. It seals up, and it's got this panel right here. There's two panels, one on either side. That's right over your face to breathe out of. And so you get into it, and it's waterproof and windproof, and you zip it up. Well, now all the air is like right there, but your body heat and all is trapped in there, and you don't get that draft. I had one that I did a video on quite a while, several years ago. My friend Dan Lutz was using up there in Ohio in the cold country, but the bottom had a draw cord on it. You had to draw it up blood tight. Once you did that, it cut off that air circulation because you're warming just by laying there, and so that heat's drafting up and going up. Well, if there's no air coming in at the bottom, it kind of cuts down on that circulation, and it feels a lot warmer in there. It adds 10 to 20 degrees to that hammock and underquilt. So that video will be coming out this Sunday. Yeah, it is. It's almost time, guys. You can have anything you want at Alice's restaurant except Alice. I got you. I tell you what, it makes a difference. You get in and you zip it up. I had the old one that had a draw cord under it, and it made a difference. It really did. Now, the only thing was condensation was bad because you needed that where they had the panels. They've redistributed where the panels are now to cut down on condensation. But it really did. I mean, it added like 20 degrees to it. Patriot Preacher, thank you. All right, guys, we're going to call it quits. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I'm not running 2 hours. I will be doing 2 hours next week. Back up to it. And thank y'all so much. And if there's anything I can do for you guys, just let me know. Till next time, guys, I'm Blackie wishing you safe journeys. Have a good night, and God bless. Good night.